Uh, Perfect. My name is Richard Nava with the Nava Law Group. I'm here with Marco DeLuna with the DeLuna Law Group and some staff members. I'm also here with Tim Miller. We're here because Aliyah was tragically lost and the family is devastated. It's been horrible and a horrific experience for my client. She asked me to address the news media because there's certain things that she wants for everyone. She would like everybody to attend. She's going to have a public funeral for classmates, friends, and teachers. Visitation will be held at Funeral de Angel, March 28th, 2024, from 9 to 1:30 p.m. That is going to be on Thursday at the 5100 North Freeway. So anybody who wants to attend, she is absolutely wanting people to show up. She is appreciative of the outpouring of support for everybody. Everybody has been giving her a lot of condolences during this tragic time. Now, we have filed a lawsuit. When we filed this lawsuit, Mr. Tim Miller has been instrumental in providing valuable information. He has and was at the scene of the incident the entire time. He has given me what we needed in order to file this lawsuit as quickly as possible. We have sued DoubleTree by Hilton. We've also sued the local owners of the hotel who manage that property. We are seeking justice for Aliyah because this could have been avoidable. Everybody knows this could have been avoidable. What I can tell you so far, because we are doing our investigation and we have just filed the lawsuit, we're also going to file a temporary restraining order to get access to the facility. I can tell you what we know so far is that there was an issue with the flow of the water, the backflow, and we believe that Aliyah was violently sucked into the hole that was about 12 to 16 inches wide. Her poor little body was contorted when she was sucked into this hole and pipe 20 feet back. Her body was inside of the motor when she had to be extracted. They had to break up concrete in order to extract her, cut pipe. It was absolutely horrific. The family wants me to especially say to everybody that please be respectful during this time of mourning. She has not even had a chance to bury her daughter as of yet. So that is going to happen on Thursday. She hasn't even seen her daughter since this has happened. That is going to be also on Thursday or maybe tomorrow. A lot of people are making comments out there about her not being able to, she wasn't there, or then she was missing, or she may have been in the hotel room. None of that is true. All the evidence is going to point to this hotel ran an establishment with many violations. The pool was not in working order, and we were going to show that in court if we have to. Now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for showing up. Thank you for your support, and we can take any questions that you may have.
So you're saying so how many people were there? Can you just describe what happened that day? Were they like at the pool, by the chair?
So on the day, what I can tell you is there is going to be some surveillance video. I have not had access to the surveillance video as of yet. Aliyah has a brother. Oh, I'm sorry. Aliyah has a sister, and so her sister is 5 years old. She is there. She was there as well. There was also a 13-year-old there. There was other family there. There was other patrons there. There was other people around the pool. What happened? What we know what happened was everybody was swimming together. Mom had stepped away for a moment, a brief moment, and one of the nieces, one of the family members, turned around and she just disappeared. That was it. It happened in a split second. We think the evidence is going to show that this 8-year-old Aliyah was possibly trying to help her sister, who might have been also drowning, by being pulled into this pipe. The 13-year-old then removed the 5-year-old at some point, what I know, and took her out of the swimming pool, and you know, we're going to be able to show all that in video. at some point. And the family, unfortunately, at this point, doesn't want to talk to anybody. Maybe that will change after we can bury Aliyah. And so at this point, you know, those are the main details that I can tell you about the story.
What were they? Were they spending the weekend at the pool, or where were they? Like, what was?
It was simply a Saturday. They wanted to go swim. Aliyah was an avid swimmer. The family wanted to just to have a regular pool day because they obviously didn't have a pool at home. And so they had to rent a room in order to get access to this pool with the lazy river.
Richard, are you saying that Aliyah tried to rescue her 5-year-old sister from possibly drowning, resulting in her instead getting sucked into that pipe? Is what the video allegedly shows?
Well, we may have, we don't know that for sure, but we think that that is a very true possibility. Yes.
Hey, can you talk a little
She got
bit
her
about?
little sister out, and then did she go back into the pool?
Well, Aliyah disappeared. The 5-year-old was treading water at some point, and the 13-year-old that was there along with the family pulled her out. And then mom came afterwards looking for Aliyah, and nobody could say where she was. She just disappeared.
Was
Can
this
you
a
talk to
cousin?
us about the hotel and how helpful were they, or were they helpful in the process right after Leo went missing?
The hotel did not really help. She said that it was chaotic. They wouldn't give her access to the video. She said that she needed to call the police, which mom did. Ms. Jaico called the police immediately, had the police come. It wasn't until much later that, and Tim Miller can vouch for that. Tim Miller was there, said that the police contacted him. He was able to finally see the video. That's the point where everybody realized that she never left the pool area. So there was a lot of time wasted, and you know, things at the hotel could have been done a lot better. And I'm looking into their policies and procedures when this sort of thing does happen.
These multiple violations that they were hit with during their annual inspection last year by the Houston Health Department, were these violations that needed to be rectified before, in the matter of weeks, months? Did they not do that? Did they blatantly just leave these violations in place? Could you talk a
Well,
little bit about what you know?
we're gonna learn more about that in the discovery process, and once we get into the thick of it with, you know, the details regarding the litigation we're going to be involved in. But I can tell you that I've been to the hotel myself. I've seen that area. I know the history of this hotel. I know DoubleTree's standards. I stay at DoubleTree's myself, and this hotel is not live up to what they market themselves as. And we look to make DoubleTree and the Hilton family responsible for this.
Have you done a lot of premises liability case? So in here, can you talk a little bit about specifically, if you have that type of experience, where you see the liabilities are with regards to Hilton Worldwide versus the local operator? Because this was a locally operated hotel.
Correct.
Can you speak again?
With regard to the premise liability aspect of this case, DoubleTree is labeling themselves. They've hold themselves out as the owners of that's what everyone thinks, right? You have a standard when you're going to go to a DoubleTree that attracts a premium. And so at this point, yes, that's why we have sued DoubleTree, and we're looking to make them responsible, and as well as the local operators. So.
And do you know when they were switched to DoubleTree? Because I believe it's a relatively short.
It has been a short time. I want to say that it was within the last 10 months.
So technically, last year's pool inspection, would that still be relevant to your case since it was technically a different hotel, a different ownership?
Well, that could very much matter, especially if DoubleTree or Hilton didn't do any due diligence when they took on this independent operator.
Do you guys feel at this point that the city bears any responsibility as well? Should they have done a follow-up sooner, or is that something that is not relevant right now?
At this point, we're still investigating. I'm not putting any blame on the city. Obviously, they helped when they were out there and they were helping extract, and now they're looking into this place. And so moving forward, I mean, if that is an avenue that we think that we need to pursue, we will. However, we're very early. This happened, 3 days ago. So So we're very early in this process.
And Tim, could you, since you were almost the only one who's actually there, can you actually kind of talk more specifically about what you saw and what concerned you about the process?
Well, when I got called by HPD, they just said we got a little 8-year-old girl that's missing. She was last seen in a swimming pool. They called the fire department out first, and the fire department checked everything, and they couldn't find her. She wasn't there. So at that point in time, we felt as though, well, she wandered away somewhere. She's in a room somewhere. She's outside wandering around. So we actually had searchers outside and in the motel. And then we had these long poles that had a camera on it, and we put that pole up inside that pipe. We had 2 of our divers there. And then that's when we discovered that her body was up in that pipe, approximately 20 feet up in that pipe. So it was real apparent then that there was some type of malfunction. She could have never swam in that pipe, and again, for her body to be that far up that pipe, there certainly appeared at that point in time to be some malfunction. We got all the pumps turned off, got HPD out there, the fire department out there, and then then all the work started on breaking out concrete, getting down to the pipe, and getting her out, which is a long, tedious process.
Mr. Miller, can you talk to us about seeing that video and what it is you saw in your heart at that moment?
Well, it was something that was just almost unbelievable when we put that pole up there with that camera, and it was just it was almost unbelievable. We could not believe that even at her size, with the size of that pipe, that this could have happened. And so then, of course, we called off all our searchers that were outside searching and everything, and then it was, roughly 6:45 that morning when they finally got her out. So again, it was long, tedious process, and what HPD Fire Department did and how they did it was a true challenge, to say the least.
Do you know if your volunteers, when they were down there with the cameras, did they feel suction themselves?
We had the pumps turned off at that time, and again, how her body was wedged in there actually shut that suction off, and so there really wasn't any suction at that time, and again, as tight as her little body was wedged in there, it just shut the suction off. Her little body was all the way to the pump, so it took it in there a good distance.
Do you think there was a lot of
indication there should be an inset around the pipe that would have a grate covering it? Does it look like there
Well, you know what? There was another pipe right beside that pipe that did have the grate on it. So what the speculation is now, and of course we'll have to wait for the investigation, what the speculation is now, I think that there was some work done with that pump, possibly even change that pump. And if that pump was wired wrong, that would create the pipe that was blowing water out to suck in. Right beside there was another pipe with a grate on it. That's the one that's supposed to be sucking in, because it's basically a circulation pump. So right now the speculation is if something went wrong with the pump, or was it wired wrong, or of course that's going to be the investigation to figure out.
Did you, when you were there, did you actually see any of the local management or the owner of the hotel? Did you communicate with those folks at all?
Question again, I'm sorry.
Any of the gentlemen who owns the hotel, or any local manager people who run the hotel? Did you communicate with them?
We tried to get a hold of the pool company, which we couldn't. It took a long time for a maintenance guy to finally get out there, and we went in the room where all the pool equipment was at, and I just started shutting stuff off. There was not a lot of help, to put it like that. Not a lot of help.
Just to clarify, when you guys initially arrived on scene, Aliyah had disappeared. It wasn't clear if she was. You guys had no idea she was in the swimming pool, right? You were looking for her possibly as an abduction, or what was the initial?
Well, when we got there, we didn't know if, she's a little 8-year-old girl. Did she take off? Is she in a storage room? Is she somewhere? Did she go outside? And yeah, we had searchers outside searching areas. There was a body of water behind the motel that they wanted to start searching. And of course, my biggest fear was there's a lot of people at the motel. Did somebody actually abduct her? But then, with the surveillance that we seen, the surveillance was pretty clear on that area, and you could see her. You could see them getting the other children out, and then when the 13 turned around, she was gone. So you could see her little head go down and never be seen again. So it was pretty obvious something happened, and she never got out of the pool. So that's why our people determined, let's go ahead and get a camera up in that pipe.
Do you think that hotel management had been a bit more cooperative when the mother was initially in a frantic state, and perhaps shown her the video, the search for her, the time and the resources might have been?
I don't know it would have changed anything at all if she would have seen that video earlier. Do we all wish that they would have shown that video earlier? Well, yeah, the answer is yes. And again, it wouldn't have changed anything. I don't. I don't know if what mom's going through right now. If she would want to see a lot of that stuff, but anyway, again, it wouldn't have changed anything.
Richard, can you tell us where was mom when this was going on?
Oh, mom was right there close.
But, no, you had said the mom had stepped away for a moment. Was she
Yeah, because the other children just got out of the pool. Yeah, the other kids just got out of the pool. Mom was there very close. Mom did nothing wrong. Zero. Nothing.
I understand. I was just wondering. You had said the mother had stepped away.
Yeah.
Yeah, she stepped away. She was there with family. They were there just to enjoy a getaway.
I'm sorry.
It happened in a split second. So, I mean, there's nothing. And if you know and you understand the forces involved with the suctions of these types of engines, I mean, grown men wouldn't even been able to extract a kid from a pipe like that. So, I mean, I don't know that anything would have changed, unfortunately. But that's all the questions I think we're going to field today.